Okay, let me just say that I have just finished my first on-demand with Disney Institute. The one that I did was Disney's approach to leadership excellence. And let me just tell you that I have learned so much from this, and I've taken so many notes, and I can't share them all with you because it would take me forever, but I'm going to read out some of the notes that I took here. So basically what Disney tried to say was that leadership isn't a noun, it's a verb. So I can say I'm a leader, but what does that really mean? Not much if I'm not actually portraying that through my own actions. So they really try to imply that our actions is what really makes us a leader. They interviewed several different people and asked them what their thoughts of a leader is like. Some of the examples that they gave were people that are passionate, compassioning, a listener, a motivator, they're inspiring, and they're confident in their abilities to help others. And they listed so many more, and all of them were really great, really great definitions as to what make a good leader. For me, some of the ones that stood out a lot were like passion, compassion, someone that has a lot of integrity, someone that's a great listener, motivator, things like that really stood out. They even mentioned being humble as well, which is great. I also liked how they basically said that a leader's behavior defines what they value, so the way we act will portray what it is that we truly value. They also mentioned the importance about the leadership lens and having a consistent value and expanding that vision, and also that leads into the future and so forth. They mentioned about how being a great leader also is someone that's proactive about their values and they're not passive about them as well. They also had some good opportunities for questions on what to ask yourself. For example, what is an example of how you want to behave? Did the way you behave reflect with the organization? Did it align with our values? Am I in alignment with the organization's values? And they mentioned how, our personal values and our organizational values, they need to connect with each other, because in the end of the day, if your values and your work values, if they don't combine, then your personal values are going to eventually further along the road just drown out your work values. And one of the things I really liked that they mentioned was work-life balance. We talk about that so much, how it's important, to balance both our own personal lives and our work life. And then the example that they gave was okay, we say that it's important, yet we go on a vacation and we're out and about, and then we start sending emails to work and to our employees. And what kind of message is that sending our employees? Is work and life balance, is that really important? Are you sending mixed signals to your employees? When you're going on vacation, are you actually on vacation and taking that time out for yourself? Are you making that balance? Or are you going back to work and saying one thing and doing another thing? So it was incredible to see that. It also talked about, your stories about the way you are, it tells you to ask yourself, what stories are people telling about you? And are you intentionally living the story that you are wanting people to know, what you are telling? And then they had this great whole thing about communication, and they had an activity where you draw Mickey in 60 seconds. And they didn't give you much detail, and there's a clock ticking and there's a buzzer, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just need to draw Mickey as much as I can remember, and I'm going to show you. I am not an artist, be warned. So here is my Mickey that I drew within 60 seconds, and it was hilarious, and I showed it to my friends and family, and they were just laughing along with me. And then later on, they showed you how to draw Mickey in more detail and in exactly the way you wanted. Now, I did do this in pen, so I wasn't able to erase some of the lines that I drew over it, but this is kind of like the Mickey that they were kind of portraying. And man, I think I did a pretty decent job with that Mickey, and it was pretty awesome. Someone like me that can't even really draw was given the attention and time and detail on how to draw, and I was able to come out with that, and it was just really great. So it's important, and like the whole thing about that was that it's important to express your vision to your employees so that they know actually what it is you want, and they're just not trying to like guess these things. Another one of my notes mentioned leaders cannot operationalize their values and vision without intentional communication, and that kind of goes back to the whole art thing. You know, I wasn't in the first round. I wasn't communicated what they expected me to draw Mickey, and then later on they communicated how they actually wanted you to do it and guided you step by step, and we were able to align our visions to make the Mickey that they wanted to appear. So no, this is great. There's just so much stuff. I love some of the other stuff that they had here, like, for example, when facing challenges, protect your values, but allow space to adjust your vision. You know, it's always important to value, it's always important to protect your values, but know that, you know, at times you do have to make adjustments. You know, times change, people change, things change, and, you know, your vision can change along the way. I like this one too here that I wrote down. Every leader leaves a legacy, which is the aggregate of the story they have told over time. Great leaders intentionally write their legacy, and your legacy will be read later, but is written now. So there is just so much great things and so much things to learn here and put into application. I like the part when it said, you know, that you should see everyone in your company as a leader and to give them ownership. And that is so much value because it gives everyone feel like they matter. It gives them a voice. It allows teamwork and collaboration and not some top to bottom level, you know, leadership. It makes everyone feel like they're a part of the team. So I highly encourage this one. They did give me a certificate as well. Let me share the screen so you can see what that certificate kind of looks like. Okay, and here is the view of my certification of completion with Disney's approach to leadership excellence. If you have a chance to take this course, I would recommend it so much. I feel like I just grew so much, and I feel like I could apply this at my own work, and now it makes me want to go back to work and kind of like see our vision. And I've worked with it before, but, you know, like, it just makes me want to revisit that and see how we're aligning and ways that we can grow and to take feedback and to keep growing, and so many exciting opportunities. And so this is just one of many courses that we'll be going through. And I hope you enjoyed that. Take care.